sentimental journey, gonna set my heart at ease, gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bag, got my reservation, spent each dime I could afford, like a child in wild anticipation, long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gotta take that sentimental journey, sentimental journey home, sentimental journey.
Oh,
I'm gonna videotape.
Columbia Aircraft. Yeah, I was Rosie the Riveter.
Okay.
1942.
Not really, but I did work with Columbia.
What year was that?
And what'd you do?
We're gonna do the kids, right? The whole.
I started
Can we get Nicole again?
IFF cables. That's what I did.
Tiger?
For planes? For
Planes, airplanes. Yeah.
like big,
Big airplanes.
like carrier type planes?
Yeah, my sister-in-law and I worked together. We were teammates.
And how long did you do that for?
And those were all times, years
Was that
and
in
years
Corpus
ago.
Christi?
But
You lived in Corpus
I
Christi?
lived in Corpus Christi.
And would you?
I-
Would that? Well,
I
you
love
were in
Corpus
North
Christi.
Jersey when you were doing the riveting,
One
right?
more time, Nicole.
Where were you a riveter?
and that's a good one. What is that thing? I'm
It's
looking-
I'm videotaping you.
Oh, you're videotaping it. Okay.
So tell me what you did. Where'd you do the riveting?
Oh,
where'd-
that was Columbia Aircraft.
And that was North
That was
Jersey,
in
right?
Long Island.
Long Island.
Long Island, yes.
And what'd you do in Corpus Christi?
Corpus Christi?
Corpus Christi. Well, I was on the Air Force. I was a hostess with the mostest.
So you
know what I
entertained the
wanna ask
troops?
you? I was watching the show, and the code in the show was the mother's maiden name, and then he said, okay, you got it. And then what was your grandmother's maiden name? What was your mother's maiden name?
My mother,
Your mother, Ethel.
Ketty.
What was it?
Ketty. Ethel Ketty. Keddy.
Do
Ketty.
you know that? Oh, I never knew that.
Okay, Grandma, this is another story I want to get.
Yes, what is
Tell
it?
us about how you used to take the money to Coney Island from that, when you used to launder money for that gangster.
You know your secret.
What was that? What did I do?
Didn't you and Uncle Manny, didn't you get money from some guy who was making some money and break the chains?
Oh my God! You
No.
want me in jail if this ain't?
I think the statute of limitations are up. I think you're
hope
okay.
so. I hope so.
I want to hear this.
Oh wow!
They used to now. I'll tell the story, but you can correct me. So they used to play in the dumbwaiter in their apartment, and they used to listen to the neighbors. And the one guy was making money.
Making it as a counterfeit. No, look, this is 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago.
And so what'd you
Your
do?
mind's the first to go, remember that.
And what'd you do with what'd you do?
That's Julianne's?
Yeah.
You used to take the money, right? And take it to Coney Island?
Coney Island, yeah.
Might have been a little cheaper.
Go on all the rides, and they would
They're
accept
trying
the
to
money.
recruit Coney Island.
They would accept it.
So basically you worked for a gangster.
Oh, no, never.
Wasn't a gangster, it was Al Capone.
Yeah.
I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a hug around the neck, and a barrel and a heap, a barrel and a heap, and I'm talking in my sleep about you, about you. 'Cause I love you, a bushel and a peck, you bet your pretty neck I do. bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck. Though you make my heart a wreck, make my heart a wreck, and you make my life a mess, make my life a mess, yes, a mess of happiness. About you, about you, 'cause I love you, a bushel and a peck. You bet your pretty neck I do. A doodle-doo-doo-doo, a doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo. I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and it beats me out to heck, it beats me out to heck, how I'll ever tend the farm, ever tend the farm when I wanna keep my arm about you, about you, 'cause I love you, a bushel and a peck, you bet your pretty neck I do. A doodle-doo-doo-doo, a doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo, a doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo, a doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo.
I never cared much for moonlit skies. I never winked back at fireflies. But now that the stars are in your eyes, I'm beginning to see the light. I never went in for afterglow or candlelight on the mistletoe. But now when you turn the lamp down low, I'm beginning to see the light. Used to ramble through the park, shadow boxing in the dark. Then you came and caused a spark that's a forlorn fire now. I never made love by lantern shine. I never saw rainbows in my wine. But now that your lips are burning mine, I'm beginning to see the light.
hardly had any learning. Still they're happy as can be, doing what comes naturally.
Doing what comes naturally.
Folks like us could never fuss with schools and books and learning. Still we've gone from A to Z, doing what comes naturally.
Doing what comes naturally.
You don't have to know how to read or write when you're out with a feller in the pale moonlight. You don't have to look in a book to find what he thinks of the moon and what is on his mind. That comes naturally.
That comes naturally.
My uncle out in Texas can't even write his name. He signs his checks with X's and they cash 'em just the same. Grandpa Dick was always sick but never saw a doctor. He just died at 93, doing what comes naturally.
Doing what comes naturally.
Jack insured his shack and now he plays with matches. He'll collect, just wait and see, doing what comes naturally.
Doing what comes naturally.
Uncle Paul heard someone call when he just had 2 deuces. He wound up with aces 3, doing what comes naturally.
Doing what comes naturally. You don't have to go to a private school not to turn up your bustle to a stubborn mule. You don't have to have a professor's dome not to go for the honey when the bee's at home.
That comes naturally.
That comes naturally.
A nice young man named Harry is stuck on Sister Flo. She'd like to marry Harry, but his wife won't let him go. If you saw my pa and ma, you'd know they had no learning. Still they raised a family, doing what comes naturally.
Doing what comes naturally.
Doing what comes naturally.
Doing what comes naturally.